Welcome arm wrestling fans, I'm Pradeep Singh from Arm Wrestling News. In today's video, we will be discussing two super match challenges. One for Michael Todd and the other one for Larry Wheels. So who are these two guys? Please watch the video till the end and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you in advance. So if you missed arm wrestling in past couple of weeks and you still don't know who Brandon Ellsessor is, I would give you a brief introduction, or should I say that Paul Italia is about to give you a brief introduction about Brandon Ellsessor.
This year, Brandon has been on a tear. So he began the year off with a win over Paul Lim. After that, he then went on a super match, right hand and left hand against Jordan Sill, winning both of those, which was a crazy war. Then he went on, I kind of thought he was going a little overboard, going to the next level, taking on opponents of Mike Aiello and Paul Passamore. And I was like, wow, I think these guys are a little too big for him. I don't think he's going to really do this. He was the underdog. And then sure enough, boom, he beats them both, which now everybody was watching him. Everybody's like, wow, this guy is no joke. So we bring him over to Virginia. We get him in a four-way over there. He's in there with Bill Sinks, Jason Marlowe, Quinlan Mendez. Pulled a tournament right before that. Thought he was crazy. I'm like, dude, you got this big four-way going on. You're going to pull a tournament? He's like, yo, I got this. All right, brother, let me see what you got. Sure enough, he goes and wins the four-way. So now I'm in shock. Now I'm like, all right, bro, you have just really surprised me. I can't believe the domination you're doing. Let's bring it across the country. Fly him across the country, bring him over to Washington. Now it's the four-way I was just telling you about with left hand, Jacob Abbott, Andre Sharkovich, Jordan Sill. Same thing again, walked away with the W.
So Brandon Ellsessor is the guy who looks like Sheamus from WWE and who defeated Travis Bagent recently left-handed, which is always a big thing. Doesn't matter what level Travis Bagent was during that match. So Michael Todd commented on that video. He was asked to give his thoughts about that match during his live stream, and he said that Brandon Ellsessor is a good guy, he's a great arm wrestler, but he also mentioned something about Travis Bagent's level, and Brandon Ellsessor reacted to it. He kind of didn't like it. He thanked Michael Todd, but then he said that Michael was somewhat discrediting his win, his level of arm wrestling, his talent, and his performance against Travis Bagent by saying that Travis Bagent wasn't really active during that time. So he didn't like it, and in return, he offered a challenge for Michael Todd. And I think since we were talking about left-handed, it has to be a left-handed challenge, because I don't really see Brandon Ellsessor doing anything against Michael Todd right-handed. So I have to assume that it was a left-handed challenge. He forgot to mention that in his video, but I think he thought that it is obvious. So this is why he didn't mention.
I'm just going to say Travis has gotten a little soft. He's gotten a little soft.
Reducing it down to Travis lost because he's soft and not Brandon won because he's strong. I mean, that's just kind of how I'm seeing it. I had an answer for Travis Bagent. I believe I got an answer for Monster Michael Todd as well. So if you want to set this thing up, I'm down to shock the world again as many times as it takes.
So talking about Michael Todd's left arm, I think in that same video, Michael Todd mentioned that the price for his left arm is $2,500 plus travel expenses, I think, as well. So, and there is one thought that has been constantly bugging my mind. Should the price for a super match that has to be paid to an athlete, should it be decided depending on the level of his arm? If it is a right-handed, on the level of right arm, and if it is left-handed, should the price depend on the level of left arm, or should the price depend on the level? Because Michael Todd has demanded $2,500, not for this match, but in general about his left-handed super matches. And I think that considering Michael Todd's level left-handed, this is a good price. Slightly higher price, I can say. Why? Because
Michael Todd's left is pathetic.
But it is my opinion, yours could be different. I don't think it should depend on the level of arm. Let's say if we are inviting a very high level cricketer to play football, to play in a football league, celebrity football league. So since he's not a great footballer, would you pay him very less price? I don't think so. The price still needs to be high. Not as high as cricket, but it still needs to be high. So I think Obviously, Michael Todd decides how much money he wants. But I too think that $2,500 is a genuine demand, no matter what the level is, because Michael Todd is such a highly reputed guy in the arm wrestling world. So level wise, not so much. Persona, reputation, very high, definitely deserves it. So I've been saying this for a very long time and many don't agree on this with me, including some pros, that I think that Larry Wheels versus Michael Todd left-handed is the match that needs to happen. Something that it is not going to be a good match. I genuinely believe that it is going to be a grinder. It is going to be a really close match. Tell me your thoughts about this. What do you think about it? And talking about Larry Wheels, his right-handed match against Khaled Jashel is definitely not confirmed yet from what Larry Wheels told us in his last video. So he's looking for a right-handed match, and I think we all advise Larry Wheels to compete in tournaments. But let's be honest here. Should Larry Wheels go from Dubai to United States or to some other country to compete in an arm wrestling tournament, local tournament? I don't think it makes sense. So since there are not much tournaments going on in Dubai, Larry, if he has both right and left-handed super matches, I think it is going to be good for him. So he should be looking for a left-handed super match as well. And Michael Todd, maybe even John Brazink, these two guys could be a really good match left-handed for Larry Wheels in my opinion. So let's move on to the second news. There is one arm wrestling channel called Pin 'Em All Arm Wrestling. Best production out there. You will be mesmerized to see their video quality, the way these guys present arm wrestling. Leonidas Arkonah had a super match against a guy and he won that super match comfortably. Right-handed super match it was. So after that match ended, Leonidas challenged Larry Wheels for a super match. So these two have a history together. October 2020, late part of that, Leonidas had a super match, or friendly match I should say, both left and right-handed. Left-handed, he pinned Larry Wheels pretty easily, no problem at all. It looked like that Larry couldn't even engage his power. He was fast, he was explosive. And right-handed, the story was exactly opposite. 3-0 left-handed, and I think it was 2-0 or 3-0 right-handed for Larry Wheels. This time, Larry Wheels pinned him without much effort. Leonidas couldn't really engage his power. Larry was too explosive and fast for him. So Leonidas issued a challenge for Larry Wheels. He challenged him for a super match. Again, we have to assume that it is a right-handed challenge because he lost right-handed. He has already won left-handed. Doesn't really make much sense to challenge Larry Wheels after that left-handed. Towards the end, it comes down to only two options. I've been giving these two options for about a year now. Leonidas number 1 and Kirill number 2. These two guys, I think, are one of those very few selected people who can meet Larry Wheels' criteria for an arm wrestling super match. So let's hope Larry Wheels accepts this super match at King of the Table 3 if the Khalid match is not happening, and if that match is happening, then at King of the Table 4. Leonidas is only 23 years old and he weighs nearly 140 kilos, really strong. Not much fat on this guy, like really strong, and he is taking arm wrestling seriously. Again, this is going to be a good match in my opinion. Give me your thoughts. Do you think Leonidas can beat Larry Wheels, or Larry Wheels can beat Leonidas? Is Larry Wheels' losing streak going to continue, or will he get his first pin, or first win I should say? He got some pins against Brandon Ellsessor. Will Larry Wheels get his first win at King of the Table 3 or King of the Table 4? So like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Till then, bye bye.